The signaling principle is one of Richard E. Mayer's 12 multimedia design principles. Before I define the signaling principle, let me define multimedia. What is multimedia? It's words, either spoken or printed text, and pictures. Lots of examples of pictures. We have illustrations, photos, animation, video, graphics, graphs, diagrams, maps, and photos. The signaling principle is one of Richard Mayer's 12 multimedia design principles, so let me define multimedia principle. It is the premise that people learn more deeply from words and pictures than from words alone. It's worth mentioning the definition of multimedia learning. This is building mental representations from words and pictures. What is the signaling principle? Well, it uses auditory and visual cues to draw a learner's focus to important areas. It uses introductions, headings, steps 1, 2, 3 to help learners organize information. It can use bold fonts, colors, arrows, and bullets to draw emphasis. Words and pictures must be together to produce meaningful learning. This is one of the important reasons or ways to use the signaling principle. Why is the signaling principle used? Well, it reduces learning time. It directs attention to learners. It enables meaningful learning, which is distinguished by memory retention. It assists in organization of the material. It reduces cognitive load, which brings me to my next point. I've noticed this is highly helpful for distractible students. Why I chose the signaling principle. I've noticed that since I've been in the Learning Design and Technology program, I have found myself putting keywords from lesson objectives in bold and using different font colors as a way to reinforce the lesson points for me and to make it clear to my professors that I understood the concepts. Now that I have read more about the signaling principle, it was interesting that the findings in research show that using this principle fosters faster learning by directing the learner's attention, and in most cases is beneficial to improved learning outcomes. As I said in the previous slide, this principle will really benefit distractible students. The signaling principle is closely related to the spatial contiguity principle, which emphasizes the importance of placing corresponding text and graphics close together physically in the learning material to ensure deeper, more meaningful learning. This is from a previous assignment of mine in the LDT program. It is an example of the color coding used in the text, which corresponds to the same color used in the picture. For example, the occipital lobe text is in red, and the visual of the occipital lobe in the brain is also in the color red. Here is my second example. In studying the signaling principle from sources other than the book chapters assigned, I ran across this video, which is a good example of the signaling principle. It gives strictly the boring text version of the stars in the Big Dipper, and then the much improved version using text, graphics, and color. Thank you for watching.